Today you can just walk out of your home with no problem. There's a reason behind that. Today, my partner and I will discuss the problems, plan, positive and negative aspects on foreign policy. Problem 1, Iran airstrike. 2015, the U.S. reacted with Iran and limited their ability to uranium in their weapons. According to ISideWithYou.com, the most popular foreign policy issue of 2016, access on October 27, 2016, the critics argued that the deal gave them too many concessions to Iran's, including the provision. Second is terrorism. In 2002, George W. Bush issued the torture memos. The techniques including the waterboarding, subjection to very cold, and confinement in a small box. The Guatemalan Bay. February 2016, President sent Congress to close the detention camp. The bay was after the Spanish-American War in 1903. The U.S. military set up the detention camp center to hold terrorist suspects after the September 11, 2002. The problem with closing the camp, it puts the U.S. at risk for more terrorist attacks because they'd be transferring the terrorists into the U.S. Next is war on ISIS. Senator Rand Paul declares war against ISIS. The problem with declaring war on ISIS would give the president more powers of carrying out the border attacks. This affects the audience so they know the real problems with foreign policy. Now that I have covered the issues with foreign policy, my partner Tiana will cover the solution and the positive and negative aspects of having foreign policy.
The best solution would be to make it the Middle East's fault and not ours. According to former Marine Corps James Bizzle on October 28, 2016, the best way to solve war on ISIS is to not get involved. Getting involved will just result in another war that we would have to fight. Also, it wouldn't work out in our favor because America would be in more debt than we already are. The Iraq Army, solution would be, multiple solutions are, Iraq Army and Afghanistan Army won't fight unless America is involved, which would help push it to make it the Middle East problem. And then to make it the Middle East problem so they can fight their own battles and fix it themselves. And we would also need to gather all of the countries in the Middle East and explain to them how they can and need to fix this problem. And a solution will be, we won't have any more wars to fight, and we would cause less drama for the U.S. about war and will no longer be considered a problem. Next, since I have covered the solution and steps with foreign policy, I will discuss the positive and negatives of having foreign policy. A positive it will no longer be a problem. We won't have to worry about going to war with any other countries, and the debt would not be something to worry about, according to USHistory.com, titled American Government 2008 to 2016, the foreign policy goals include preserving the national U.S., protecting democratic values and human rights, world peace, secure the global environment. And then you can step foot out of your home because you're safe to be an American because of foreign policy. If you go against it, basically, it would just be the opposite of what will happen. We will be in more debt. You won't be safe. You won't feel safe. And there won't be any goals and you have more wars to fight. In summary, we have talked about foreign policy, the problems and how it can be solved. You can do what you want, but the right choice is vote for us. Our duty is to persuade our audience to vote for foreign policy. People question about our country as much as we question about theirs. As you step out of this room or even your house, you can, as an American, walk out with no problem. Think about it.